Members, as we traveled around the state this past year, as we heard in Committee on Energy just yesterday, as we heard in Hibbing on Friday, businesses support lifting this ban, not because they are closing their eyes, but because they need us as policymakers to be open to all the options. We heard about them on taxes. We heard about them on regulation. We heard from them on regulation and permitting, but we also heard from them that energy, electricity, which is literally the go juice for industry and manufacturing and businesses in the state of Minnesota, needs to be reliable and it needs to be affordable. And so what we are talking about today is taking a very small step towards adding to Minnesota's energy portfolio, putting all options on the table. I'd like to close with a quote from the State of the Union by President Obama on January 25th. President Obama said, "Some folks want wind and solar. Others want nuclear, clean coal, and natural gas. To meet this goal, we'll need them all. And I urge Democrats and Republicans to work together to make it happen." So members, I would just urge Democrats and Republicans here today on the floor, let's take this small step together. Let's add to Minnesota's energy portfolio, and thank you very much.
The first bill being heard in the new Senate this year, in a time when we have a huge budget deficit and a crisis of jobs in our state, and it's a diversion from those issues in my view. We need jobs now. We don't need jobs 20 years from now. This bill will not offer any jobs anytime soon, except for maybe a few lawyers. It's also the wrong time because we're still stuck in a recession. Now, we all know that things are going really well on Wall Street, but on Main Street, not so well, and that our constituents are still suffering from job losses and economic insecurity. And we simply cannot embark on a path of the most expensive source of electricity known in the United States, which is to build a new nuclear plant. It's the wrong time because it's too expensive. No electric utility companies in the state of Minnesota have come forward and asked for this bill to be passed. None of them testified in committees. We have a very well thought out and long time process in our state law that calls for integrated resource plans. Our largest state utility, which is probably the only one that owns the current nuclear plants, Xcel, has a plan that they've filed that says, here's what our energy needs and predictions are up until the year 2025. And they are not asking for any new baseload plants, and they are not proposing building any new nuclear plants. So again, we don't need this. It's too expensive. It's not right for Minnesota.